Hi friends, my name is Davinder and today I'm going to tell you how we can create the VPC inside AWS. So firstly, I'm on the AWS console page and here I'm going to log in with my email address and password. And yes, this is the first page which is coming for AWS console where all the services they have given and you can use these services. So in our first lecture we have created the EC2 instance. Okay, so now we are going to create our next one is VPC. So here if you are able to find VPC, it's good. If you're not able to find, then you can search it. So generally I know networking content delivery, there is the VPC session. If it is you are not able to search, just mention here VPC and you can directly open, it will open the VPC Management Console. So now this is console and currently I am in Ohio region. So it depends upon which region particularly you will choose. So based on that, you can start your work. So firstly, let's start our your VPC. So there is your VPC. It is already mentioned. One VPC is there. This is the dashboard, VPC dashboard. So there is a by default when the first time you are creating any instance, there is one or VPC is already there. So now why we need again a VPC? So let me explain you a couple of things. So VPC is a virtual private cloud. So that is a virtual private network dedicated to your account. So this is your account and that is only dedicated for you. You can create. It is a just a logical isolated your AWS. For example, I will show you in this one. So generally what it do, so it is this is your complete AWS. It will isolation from your this is one VPC. For example, this is my VPC and this is completely isolation from your other instances or other VPC. Now, for example, this is your default VPC which we have created in the first time, but this is your default VPC and this is your private VPC. So it is a isolation, logical isolation between these two VPCs. Okay, and you can launch your AWS resources such as EC2 instances like here. This is for example Linux, this is again Linux, this is Windows. So multiple instances of virtual machines you can run into this VPC. That is means how you want to create the architecture, it depends upon you. You can configure your VPC and you can select the IP range. So what particular IP range you will get for this particular complete VPC. You can select or create the subnet also. So what subnet you need, so I will show you that thing in the practical, how you will create the different subnets here, and after that you have to create the network gateway, routing table and security settings for this VPC. So how this VPC traffic will go outside, so that will you have to it's in your hand, how what the routing table, how you will create the internet gateway, all these things you will how. But the question will come when you are creating your own subnet, so or private subnet, how you will connect to this one from, let's say I'm here or I'm the user and over the internet I am here. So how will connect this one, because this is not the public. So I have to connect to one of the public IP address, one of this machine, and from here I will connect to the internal private VPC. So that's way I have to use I have to create my VPC. Okay, so now let's is what the different components we will use inside this one, or what are the features are there. See here in these that is the general features. You can attach multiple interfaces your instance. You can assign static private address so and to your VPC. You can run your instances on a single tenant hardware. If you think about single tenant hardware, which we discussed about when we have created our EC2 instance, so that option is feature is also available, and you can assign multiple IP addresses to your instances. Okay, so here you will see the first one access control list, which is you can control the network ACLs. So how you can use a network ACL and egress and ingress filtering that we will do here. Okay, so let's start our the practical with this one. Let's come here, and firstly your this is your VPC. So you are going to create your own VPC first time. So let's start with your create VPC. So now you have to give the name. Okay, here for example I'm giving, this is my okay, I will generally what I will do, as I told you, I'm creating a one name. I'm using Aspen for so that whenever I see Aspen I will come to know this is my particular batch where I'm giving this particular name. So I'm giving every name, I will start with Aspen, so it's easy for me. Okay, so I just give the name of the VPC, and now we have to mention about what type of particular address we have to give here. If you click on this one, information, the range of IPv4 address of your VPC in CIDR block format. For example, 10.0.0.0. For example, I am also giving 10.0.0.0/16. So you know about the network concept. I'm giving here the subnet mask is /16. So by default subnet mask for this one 255.255.0.0. So if you want to know more about the subnet mask and other things, you can log in onto Google CIDR. Generally I prefer to use this one. So in this one, if you select for example 10.0.0.0, you will come to /16. So how many IP addresses you will get, see here, your first IP will be 10.0.0.1 and your last IP will be 10.0.255.254. So total count is 65,536 IPs you will get from here, and this will be your subnet mask. Okay, so here this website you can use to know about what should be the subnet mask, what is your first IP. So now you want to enable the IPv6 this one, or you don't want to enable. It's up to you. If your environment or you want IPv6 settings, then you can choose here, otherwise it is not required. Second is tenancy. So tenancy, it is mentioned about you want to use or dedicated. If you are want to dedicated set hardware, you can run instances your VPC on single tenant dedicated hardware. If you want to use the dedicated hardware dedicated tenancy instances, so the regardless of tenancy attributes specified at launch, select the default to ensure that instances launch this VPC use the tenancy attribute specified by the launch. So then it will be on the dedicated hardware, but be careful, it is a chargeable. If you are just testing and other things, until you are into the test phase, don't use the dedicated hardware, just go with the default. Now you have to create the VPC. So first VPC, and this is your VPC ID, it is configured now. Okay, so now let it close. So this is, you will come now first is created. So here is this is my default one. So if you see here, this is the default one, and this is which we have created just now. So this is your VPC ID, or you can make it just give here the name default, so that you will come to know, sorry, so you will come to know what is why you what is this VPC. So just giving the name, and if you see the IP addresses ranges, both are the different, that is 172 range and this is 10.0 range. Okay, so if you see here the DSP option set, so I will explain you later, and you can see some other attributes: main routing table, main network ACL, tenancy default VPC. No, this is yes. So here you will come to know which is your default, and this is the owner is my account ID. Okay, so let's start some other topics of this one, and now come down, let me make it little big. Yes, the description of this one you can see here. Okay, this is your ID, which we told routing table. In the left side you can see this is the routing table. Okay, And okay, so this is the routing table, and CIDR block here. They have mentioned about what the particular 10.0.16 0.0.0/16 we have given the flow logs. There is a separate topic. You can create the flow logs on your resources to capture IP traffic flow. So if you want to see your VPs and your sources, what is the flow or what is the IP traffic is coming for your for the network interfaces to your resources, you can create the workflow. I will create the workflow in the last, and here you can give them tagging. So tagging is you know about the name and value. So the name I have currently given this one, and now let's see come on the next part. So firstly we have created the VPC, and now we have to create the subnets. So let's start with the subnets. So now let's create our create our subnet. Sorry. And so there is already 3 subnet you can see, but that is all from the default subnet. So that default subnet is here, you can see this one. And so now we have already created our VPC. It's come on the subnet, and you can see this one. You can see subnet IDs already it is mentioned, and there is already these are the under the default subnet. So that you have to need to take care. And this is the IP range, and this is the number of available IP addresses. So now we have to create our own subnet. So how we can create our own subnet? So let's see, click on subnet, create subnet. So let me clear this thing. So now the first subnet is I'm giving ASP.NET hyphen private subnet. So in private subnet, what we need to do, and here the VPC is, so which VPC, under which VPC it is. So it is my ASP.NET VPC. Click here, and this is the full range of the your VPC. So if I'm showing you the VPC example into the AWS documentation, come on here, AWS VPC, and you can see the images. Under images, if I'm showing you, you can refer to this particular diagram. In particular this diagram, I can show you there is two things. So first thing is so you can refer as I told you now, you can refer this one, and here it is has the two VPCs. The first VPC you can see here there is one VPC this one, and one VPC is this. So this is under 10.0.5.6, three instances are running here, three instances are running different subnet 10.0.1.0. So both, so same way we are going to create. So this is our region, and then one VPC. So you can refer this diagram, this will help you a lot when you are preparing your own VPC. Okay, so now let's come here into my screen, and here okay, let me clear. Now which availability zone you want to create. So the one option is you can select your own availability zone. One VPC in one availability zone, another is another availability zone into the same availability zone, depends on how you want to prepare your architecture. Okay, so let it be in 2A only. So here I am giving you 10.10.0/24 subnet, or you can give 1.0 also into that subnet. So for example, your private should be 1.0 and public should be 2.0. So we can create in that way. So now we have created our one subnet. Now let's create another subnet. So this is let's create another subnet as and onto the public subnet. So here which VPC, the same which one I have created, not the default one. So it will show you if you select the default one, the IP address will be changed here. So when you will come to know from here. Now I'm giving the same availability zone, and this one I'm giving the address is 2.0/24. Okay, so now we have created two subnets. So one subnet for public and one subnet for private. For example, which we have till now we have discussed about this diagram. So your one is public subnet, one is your private subnet. Okay, so now let's create our routing table. So first, by default, it is, if you see here, when we have created our VPC, it's already created one routing table for us. See here. So this is my default one is default routing table for my default VPC. So be careful when you are thinking about, this is my default VPC for default routing table for my default VPC. Okay, and this is the VPC routing table which is created for my which VPC I have created. If I move it little further, so see here, SPIN VPC already created. So now you are creating a routing table for your how you will send the traffic. Okay, so for that one, so this is for your complete VPC, not for the subnet. So I'm creating one SPIN hyphen routing table RT for which VPC I'm currently it will SPIN VPC I have created. Now the question will come, why we required this one SPIN RT. Okay, and I have mentioned this one SPIN RT hyphen default or hyphen default hyphen RT. So okay, now come on to your image. So here it will tell you this is which we have destination routing table. This is your main routing table, that is for both of these instances. But if you want to create particular for your private network, for example your public and private network, so in my case this is my public where 2 dot IPs we will give to our instances. This is 2.0. So if that is public, I have to create that routing for my public. Okay, so how we will create how I can create that one. So let's come on your main screen and see here. So now clear drawing. Now we have created our routing. So but we didn't mention about which subnet should be part of this one. So if you move little further, so my both subnets are showing here. So which traffic can go outside, which traffic can't go outside here. Currently in my this routing table nothing is there. So both the subnets which we have created, okay, public and private, it's showing here. But which traffic I want to send outside. Okay, so be careful in. So now I'm selecting this one and let's see, I'm saying my public subnet. I want to send my public subnet traffic to outside. Okay, so I'm selecting this one and I'm selecting my public IP. So this is just mentioning about the naming convention. It is nothing about the public or private. It is just naming convention which traffic I want to send to the internet. Okay, so that will come. So let's now start our internet gateway. We need internet gateway to connect our traffic outside. So if you come on in this one, I will show you another one with internet gateway like this one. So we need a traffic where it will connect to the internet gateway, then internet gateway only send the traffic outside. Okay, so be careful when you're preparing this one. Your design should be in your mind. So what design you are preparing? So I'm creating a internet gateway. This is default for the default VPC. This internet gateway is already there. Okay, so now you have to create for yourself. So I'm just giving the same name so that I will come to know it is for this particular project. So internet gateway IGW I have given, so create it. So once we have creating the internet gateway, so it is right now by default it is detached. So we have to attach to one of the VPC. So which VPC we will definitely SPIN VPC we will attach this particular our gateway. So now we have created the VPC, we have created subnet, we have created routing table, we have created internet gateway. So now come on to the subnet. So if we are selecting any subnet and go on to the right hand side, so I will want to show you one option. By default, auto assign public IP is no for these two instances. Now both the subnets which we have created, SPN, if you see here. So both the subnet it is no. By default, if you create any instance in these subnets, they will not get any public IP address, but we need public IP address for my public instance, because how you will log in from your laptop to this public subnet or public VPC to your VPC. Okay, then only the private. So now just think about this one. Come on this page and I will just explain you a couple of more things. So why we are doing let's come which particular. Okay, so now what is required in this one and in this VPC, if you click this one, for example, this public, this is my public and this is my private subnet. So what happened, so generally, for example, this is here, it is my web server, and there all the communication within backend, for example, it is MySQL or some other modules, that should be into the private. So in such cases we are creating this one, we are creating some of into the public network and some into the private network. In for our example, if I'm here, I want to log into my private subnet here, it will only the private IP, I can't directly log in here, it is not possible. So what I have to do, I have to come to firstly here and then the connectivity will be go here. So now let's see how we can create this one. So now which I told you, so currently both the subnets doesn't have the public setting or internet modify auto assign IP address. So I want to enable this one auto assign public IP address for my public subnet. So which instance or which virtual machine I will create under my public subnet, it should by default get a public IP address. Okay, so now let's create our uh, first instance. So let me open one more tab here, and okay, running instances, already some instances are running, so I'm just creating launch instance. For example, I'm going to take the Amazon EMA image, so by default I will take the general purpose free one, and here one instance is there. So here the default VPC is by default, so you have to select the SPN VPC, and here you have to mention which subnet it should create. So right now my first is public subnet. Okay, so second, auto assign, so it is enabled, disabled, or whatever. So use subnet settings enabled. So right now my subnet settings are enabled. Okay, if I will select here private IP, so it is showing disabled because I didn't enable my public setting or public IP address setting there. Okay, so now let's go and I'm not going to create shutdown, nothing will change here. So I'm just add storage 8 GB by default it is coming. Let's add and give the name is I'm giving here spin hyphen VPC uh, public public uh, public machine, whatever you want to give, it is up to you. Let's create a new security group. So I'm just creating spin hyphen secure SG. So by default SSH rules are enabled, nothing else. Review and launch. Yes, I'm going to launch this one, and I have the spin, already have the spin keys. So if you don't have, you have to just create and download it. You can create and give the new name and download it. Okay, so I have these keys, I'm just launching the instance. Yes, just click over here and it will starting the new instance. Okay, so leave it this one and let's start our okay, let me delete this instance because this I don't want, and because it is it will creating a, if I will not delete they will charge me for more utilization. So let me terminate this one, and I'm going to create one more instance. What is the purpose of one more instance? One in public and one in private. So then we will log in onto our public and then see, can we create the private instance, can we log into the private instance or not. Okay, so let's come on to this one. Here I have to just change the VPC and change the subnet into the private. So now by default it will only get the one IP address that is only private. Add the name, so name will be spin hyphen private, spin hyphen VPC hyphen private, whatever you want to give. So I have already created one, my spin security group, selected and launch it. So this way you have created two instances, one in public network, one in private network. If you see the closely to your any both instances, for example, I am selecting my public instance, you will see here clearly. So it is got a one public IP address, okay, and one private IP address. But if you select your private instance, which we have created now, it will only get one IP address, that is only the private IP address, nothing public. So you can't log in from your laptop directly. Okay, so now I will show you how you can connect it. So let's come on to my terminal. So I'm on my terminal and let me clear the screen. And just connect to the our public machine. Connect it and see, this is the login ID, login details to connect, and I have just giving. Will it work or not? Now the question is, no, this is not working. So understand why it is not working, because we have created our routing table but we didn't assign internet gateway anywhere. So now come on to your instance. Now just understand, you have created the internet gateway here, okay, but internet gateway attached to the VPC, right? Now in the routing table, if you see, it is it is not anywhere connecting to, it is not telling which route it will go. So now we have to come here, add the route, and for I'm mentioning destination is 0.0.0/0 for everything. What will be the my internet gateway? So internet gateway, so you have to attach for everyone and just edit this one. Okay, so whatever the destination is there, so this internet gateway will use. Now let's see, now it's came, see here. So now press yes and it will be logged in. Okay, so now you have logged in here, and now let's see your let's see your public private instance, and that your private instance will be here. And what is the IP address of private instance is this one. So how you will connect to private instance? First thing, you need your SSH key should be onto this instance. So onto from here you have to log in like this way. Okay, but the problem is, if you will yes, but it will say permission denied. Why permission denied? Because it doesn't have my keys here. So what I have to do, in other browser I will just copy paste my this one, and SCP I will do the SCP and copy my keys there. So SCP -i, these keys, what I want to copy, the same keys I want to copy there. So that is the SCP secure copy command, and it will be copied on this machine colon into the home directory. Yes, it's copied. Now come here, let's see, it is it's not here because I have selected the home directory. So I will just slash home ec2 user aspirin file here. Now I will go for my public private IP. Now I have logged it. Yeah, so but I will try to do a couple of things here. Let's see it will work. For example, you are going to ping Google. Will it work? No, it will not work. Yum list command, will it work? It will not go and install any package from the internet. So that how you will do. Now our VPC is created. You can use only the private subnet for the private purpose and public subnet for the public purpose. Okay, so now some of the options I will tell you how you can use that. Okay, so now come on your VPC. We have already created one public and one private routing table. Your VPC is here. Now let's start our other things. So now I will explain you other topics in our next lecture. So this is the basic configuration of VPC, and now in the next lecture I will tell you how from the private network you can connect to the public network. So okay, thanks to listen this video. Thanks a lot.